And we're live coming at you at the back studios of the gardens and the houses of Queensland and Melbourne.
Good morning. How is everyone?
Good. I see time traveler Karen is there waiting. I hope she's still around.
Not sure.
Not sure. But anyway, I roped her in, folks. I got me lasso out. I roped Lindy in. Not that it took much to rope her in. Now, I'm not going to ask you where were you born and why. Okay?
Yeah, it was more than a twinkle in Mum's eye for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you where you were born and why, because I know you get asked those questions a lot. And you need a break. So I guess we're just here to talk about the very real, sad reality of the occasional touch of the meat aversions.
Yeah, I definitely had my fair share of that over the 2.5 years of me being carnivore. So got a few tips and tricks up my sleeve. But yeah, do you want to tell us how you're going with it? Because you're 6 or 7 months in now.
7 months. Yeah, it's just a little over the 6 and a bit months. And yeah, I mean, I'm doing fine. I've got no problem with the meat thing. Good morning, Rita. And good morning, Richard. And the Ram Man. Good morning.
That's my
Oh,
husband.
I might have known he wouldn't be far away. Hello, you. He's a shocker, isn't he?
I know, right?
So I had a problem in that I had some really consistent tummy rumbling disaster pants, let's be frank, situations happening. And I was okay after the first week because I thought, okay, well, you know what? Been here before, it's fine. And I just put it all down to the whole, the gut's trying to do its thing and get used to stuff and things. But then the second week came and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm sort of getting less into this part of it. But by the third week, and that's I think when you and I started talking about it, I'm like, no. And then I noticed that porterhouse steaks, as much as I do love them, I was struggling. I was really struggling to get through and that was my one meal a day. Just to get through that porterhouse steak was like asking for the world.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, we went through a whole pile of different reasons that might have, maybe it was the coffee, could well have been. But I don't know, something was telling me that, I don't know, my instincts were saying, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. But even though I thought, I was talking to my husband about it, maybe we're here already. Here we are, we're going to give up coffee. No. But it turns out it was really just the meat, the red meat. But having said that, like last night, I made meatloaf. And it was half beef mince, half pork mince, and then an extra half again of bacon. Now, I just made mine plain for kids and everyone. I just put garlic powder in there and maybe some onion powder and some cheese on top. Could I have had it? Yes. Did I want to? No. Did I really, really want to? Yes. Because cheese,
Yeah.
Josephine, hello, darling. Feeling great. The sun is shining on my back. It's like, oh, yes, nice and warmies. Thanks. Nice and warmies. But yeah, I mean, I tried a few nights after that, tried lamb. And I cooked a lamb roast. And I love lamb. Love lamb. But when I went in after about an hour and a half to check the meat. The smell of it, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat this. I tried. I really did try. I had maybe 3 mouthfuls and I'm like, nope, not doing it. So I don't know whether it's full on red meat. If it was full on red meat, surely I wouldn't be eating beef mince. Or maybe it's just the cuts of meat. And I've actually seen other carnivores say it's cuts of meat that you go off. And I'm like, okay, well, and you've had your fair share of it as well. And we've been talking about what the heck can we do for alternatives here? You know, what do we do? Because even though we're saying that we've got the food freedom and, you know, there's no, they say that it's limiting, that eating the meat is limiting. And we keep saying, no, it's not. Being limited is being housebound or seat bound or whatever. But then you come across this and you're like, oh, maybe it is just a little bit limiting.
Yeah.
So how do we combat that, you know?
Well, porterhouse, I ate for the first year. That's all I ate was porterhouse, and I did like a few raw eggs, and I used to dip it like a mayonnaise. I'd salt it and dip it, and it got to the point where I just couldn't eat any more porterhouse. And even now, if I think about porterhouse, I just cringe at the thought of it. Maybe I overdid it. I don't know. But just changing up the cut of meat did work for me. So I did stay away from steak for a little bit. Salmon, that was my go-to for a little while. I had a lot of salmon.
Yeah.
Eggs, scrambled eggs. I do the buttery eggs, but I do find when I have eggs that I'm hungry a lot sooner. The red meat satiates me a lot longer. So
Right.
I really want to stick with the red meat because I don't want to eat 2-3 times a day. You know, I want to just have 1 meals. I'm fine with 2 meals, but I don't want to have hunger pains in 2 hours time. And if I
Yeah.
have, I'm not a chicken fan, mainly because I'm a crazy bird lady. So eating birds kind of freaks me out, you know, so I don't like to eat a lot of chicken. And pork makes me feel a bit unwell. Even bacon, I feel a bit sort of queasy with. I mean,
Really?
I just find that gives me indigestion. There's something's not right with bacon. It doesn't sit with me well. So I do try and have pork every now and then because I love the crackle, but I just
I know, right?
I don't feel my best when I have it. Scotch fillet is my new go-to steak if I'm having a steak now, and I have it very rare. The rarer, the better. The more
Oh,
cooked
okay.
it is, I find it very dry. I don't like the texture in my mouth. I just like to have it a little bit rare on the rare side. I mean, almost blue, which is probably a lot of people cringe at that,
I like
but
it still mooing.
it goes down well. I enjoy it. I still
Moo.
salt and I change it up with a lot of smoked salt, different flavors. So red gum salt. I've got a new Vegemite salt for all the Aussies, which I'm absolutely loving. But another thing I do is if I'm not hungry, I just fast. I take that as an opportunity to fast. Maybe my body's telling me, hey, you've got enough protein and nutrients. We don't
Yeah.
need more right now. Maybe it's time for you to have a bit of a rest, give your system a break, and just do a fast. So that's where I'm actually at today. I can't even think about eating meat. I'm just not interested. So I've made myself my bone broth. I've got like a
Yep.
powdered one I use because I'm too lazy to cook it and
I
the
bought
smell
that.
in my house. And so I just add that and I put a teaspoon of tallow in and my Vegemite salt, mix it all up, and I've got my bone broth. That's what I'm having this morning, and then just drinking water and see how I go and just fast through it because maybe I don't need it. I still have a lot of weight to lose. I don't feel like eating. I don't want to eat. So I'm going to take advantage of getting some autophagy in and trying a little bit of a fast.
Right?
Yeah, and
Right?
I'm not gonna
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah, I'm not gonna do a 3-day fast or like I'm just gonna fast until my body
Yeah.
says, "I think I'm hungry now," and then I'll if I'm not hungry enough to sit down and eat a steak, then I can keep fasting. Like, I'm
Isn't
not
it
gonna
funny though?
yeah,
Our bodies have become that other child that we have to teach. It's like, no, it's fine. Calm down. Isn't
Yeah.
it funny that it ends up with it feels like it's another kid, you know?
Yeah. And me and fasting do not really click. I'm not a faster because when you get hungry, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's not steak, it's ice
Oh,
cream or
oh, yeah.
chips or something like that.
Something you shouldn't
So,
have, yeah.
yeah.
Yep,
So
yep,
I
guaranteed.
really start to feel, like, deprived. I'm like, "Oh, no," I'm hungry, but I'm not really hungry. It's just my brain saying, "Hey, I think you're bored. It's time to have something to eat," and it's always gonna be something that you shouldn't really be having. So I have to say to myself, "Well, if I'm not hungry enough to eat a steak, I'm not hungry. It's my brain playing tricks on me. I need to go and find something to do and
Yep,
rewire my brain to say, "Hey, I'm not bored. I've got gardening to do. I can go for a walk. I can, do some work on the
yep.
computer." Anything that involves nothing, doesn't involve food. So
The 3
if I
Ds,
am,
distraction, distraction, distraction.
yeah, and if I am hungry, then that steak is going to look bloody awesome. So
Oh, yeah, for sure, for
yeah,
sure. Oh, yeah. That's the thing, I always remember, we always I remember when, I was having my 2 kids, especially the first, when they go through that phase where they just don't wanna eat anything. Doesn't
mm,
matter what you put in front of them, they don't wanna flipping eat it. And I always remember what my husband used to say, "D Don't worry about it. They won't starve. If they're hungry, they'll eat."
exactly. Yeah,
And that has just come back into my head now. It's like, how could you forget something like that you used to worry about for your kids? And my husband said, "Yeah, don't worry, they won't starve. Neither will we. If we're hungry, we'll flip and
yeah.
eat."
Well, the kids haven't developed those bad habits at that young age, and so they will just go, 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 and just keep running and not even think about food until they're actually hungry. And these
Yep.
habits we develop over time, and then when we're 50 years old and we've still got those habits, and then
Well,
mobility slows down and all that, well, it just piles on. It's like a vicious circle, but
and then you're
yeah,
like, "Oh, whoopsie. Oh,
yeah.
carnival candy, darling. Hello."
So I love watching you both. You give me inspiration. I started a channel earlier this year as well, and I'm on my long journey. Good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That makes me happy. The more people talk, and they don't have to be, you know, don't have to have all these darned effects in them. Just sit there and talk. Look at me, I'm a messy garden.
Yeah, I got my little bed up here, which I'm hiding all the bird poop on under the blanket. Because my birds are just like such ferals at the moment. It's that time of year, and I think they're starting to get a little bit frisky. And
Oh,
yes,
spring is in the chirping air.
yeah,
Oh,
that. So the birds are getting a bit, yeah, excited by it.
wow.
Little bit of
Loves
housework
it.
to do after this.
So look, yes, darling, awesome on the channel. Comment below in either Lindy's channel or mine the URL for your YouTube channel. I would love to see it, sweetheart. All right?
We'll post your links. Yeah, definitely here to
Yep.
share. So, hi Ursula, good day from across the ditch. I think you're in New Zealand. Do you live there? I think if you're the Ursula I'm thinking of, you live in a very beautiful place in New Zealand.
Oh, I've only been to New Zealand once, and oh, what a beautiful place. It really is stunning. We
Mm,
stayed, there. Mum had a holiday there. We had a holiday there as a family. And we please forgive me if I don't say this right, Lake Taupo or Taupo. We went
okay.
salmon fishing there. Oh my gosh, best holiday ever. It was fantastic. So green and so lush. It's just a very beautiful country.
Mm. Hi, Stodge. If you'll eat chicken, maybe dark turkey with crispy skin thighs. Yum.
Now
Have
you
you?
see, I can't do turkey.
I've never had turkey. I hear it's very dry, and so
It
that
can be. Oh, yeah.
yeah, But I would try if someone would cook it for me. Obviously, I wouldn't cook something I'm not familiar with because it's a waste of money if I stuff it up. So I stay away from things that I'm not familiar with. But
Yeah.
that is actually on my bucket list. I want to go probably Canada or somewhere where there's snow at Christmas time and have a traditional roast turkey feast for Christmas. I want the
Yep.
feast with an open fireplace and real stockings hanging off it. That's my dream on my bucket list. So when we both reach our goals, we're going to spend Christmas over in Canada. What do you reckon?
Oh, I've never been to Canada. I
You
actually have
know,
a really funny but rude story about Canada. I can't mention it here because it's very, very rude. And it does actually involve birds that talk. And it's a story my mother told me, actually.
oh,
But
okay. We'll do that one later.
yes. I mean, I could probably adapt it to a PG version and leave it to the imagination of others, but it was quite funny. Yep. So, yeah.
Lucy.
Hello, Missy.
So have you tried the egg colladas yet? Because you were talking about giving that a go, or you
Yes,
still
I haven't because I've forgotten the recipe. Mm.
Oh, okay. I was been meaning to do another video, but I haven't had another one since.
That's
So
fine.
all you do is I've got a NutriBullet. So I use my NutriBullet cup. I put
Yep.
you can put as many egg yolks as you want, depending on how hungry I am. Like sometimes I put 3, sometimes I put 6 just egg yolks. I don't use the whites. Then I throw in like a large tablespoon of butter, large
Yep.
tablespoon of tallow, and then I fill it up to the black line with hot water, boiling
Right.
water.
Yep.
But you don't, yeah, that melts all the fat and everything like that. So, and the butter, it makes it all creamy. Just whisk it in the, blitz it in your NutriBullet and down the hatch. Now, Annalisa from Meat and Marriage actually gave me the recipe. She'll put a bit of monk fruit in hers, or a little bit of vanilla, or a little bit of cinnamon, just to give it a bit of taste. Or you can put a little bit of salt if you like. If you do well with the sweeteners, I prefer not to have the sweeteners because then I want another one and another one. So I find I just have it plain, but it becomes super creamy. And in winter, it's the perfect nightcap, to have it hot. And I
Like an
drink
eggnog, wouldn't it?
it is. It is. It's very creamy. It's just beautiful at nighttime. And I drink it and then I sleep like a baby. Like it's not heavy on your tummy. So sometimes if you have a steak, you can't go to bed because you've got that heavy feeling. At nighttime, it's just a beautiful, gentle way to just get some nutrients into you. You feel really good. It's a nice hot drink for this winter. And then I sleep like a baby. So it's really cool. But you can then put it in the fridge if you want to and have it the next day chilled. So for summer, it's a really good option to have as a cold drink in the morning. So you can just make it at the night before, throw it in the fridge and have it chilled, but you will need to give it a shake because it might
Yep.
separate overnight. Just give it a shake in the NutriBullet thing. It's easy. And then drink that down. And that's really nice chilled as well. So it's good for either season. Yeah.
And this would be helpful for people like yourself who have had either gastric sleeve or lap band. If
Yes.
if they're having I mean, let's just put the meat aversion aside for a second. What if you guys are having one of those days where eating anything solid is like, heck no, I'm not doing this today. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be absolutely perfect?
It is very challenging, and because I had the lap band like 27 years ago, and eating meat can be tough, especially when you're stressed. It seems like everything tightens up and
Oh, yeah.
everything gets stuck, and then you throw up. And then when you get to the point where you undereat. Now, how easy is it to undereat on carnivore? Super easy. And then when you can't get the food down, you've got that on top of you. So then what happens? Your metabolism slows down and you think, okay, well, I'm not eating because nothing is going down.
Good
I'm
job.
doing my exercise and moving. Well, exercise and, definitely calorie deficient,
Yeah.
and I'm not losing any weight. I'm putting weight on. Why is
Yep.
that? All the stress, the cortisol, because I'm panicking because I'm not eating enough. I want to eat because my stomach is grumbling, but
Yep.
it won't go past this area. So it's not
Oh,
even dropping into the tummy. And
Oh,
it's really frustrating, and it's only when I'm stressed, and I've had a lot of stress, recently with family, things as well. You can't help it. Life happens. So the colada's been a godsend for me. It really gets
I'd
some
imagine it would have been.
nutrition.
Yep.
Just sip it nicely at night, and then I go to bed on a full tummy, and I just relax. It's beautiful. So it's really helped me a lot, and especially if you do have meat aversion, it is another alternative. And you can always, I did hear we actually did a live stream, and a lady didn't have any tallow. She put bacon grease in it, and she said it was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. It's like having a bacon and egg drink. I mean, I haven't tried
Well, it
it.
makes sense. One
Yeah,
of my sons said it when I was, because, my eldest son, bless his heart, brings out my laptop for me, love him to death. I love my other one. I could strangle my other one, but I still love him. But, I've been on my vibration plate and he's come out to say good morning. And he's obviously heard the sort of things that you and I have been talking about. And he said, yeah, why do you, he said, tallow, what's that? And I said, well, it's like fat, really, fat. And he said, well, if you're putting eggs in it, wouldn't bacon fat do the trick? And this is from somebody who hasn't said, I'm a carnivore. He hasn't come out yet. So,
yeah,
why wouldn't it taste great?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, she said it was amazing, so it's definitely something I should try it one day, but as I said, I don't eat a lot of bacon, so I don't have bacon grease just
Oh,
to throw around, but maybe you can
yeah,
give it a go and tell us how you go with it.
I could do that. I could do that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
see with it.
Rita says she's the same with eggs, just doesn't keep me going for hours. This is why I don't like to have a colada in the morning, because within 2 or 3 hours, I start craving food again. I do find red meat satiates me longer, so I don't have to think about food as quickly. But if you need a quick fix, then it's definitely an option for that, or at night time just before bed, because then you sleep through any hunger pains later. So
Oh,
where can I buy Vegemite salt in Melbourne? I actually get it from a little shop in Warrigal. It's a country town, Warrigal. It's near my daughter's house. I'll try and get the details of the shop, and they've literally got a wall of salt, every flavour you can think of. They make it all themselves.
do they have
Um,
Promite flavor?
I don't know, but
No.
I'm sure we
Oh,
can request it. I mean, my daughter, she's like a Vegemite fanatic. She's got Vegemite slippers, Vegemite T-shirts, Vegemite tea towels, you name it, she's got it. Pajamas, whatever. And when she saw the Vegemite salt, she's like, I have to have Vegemite
I had
salt. So I tried it, and I'm like, this is pretty good. And I actually took some up to the US and gave some to Todd and to Annalisa.
yeah.
Todd was eating it out of the jar, just straight out of the jar, because it tastes so good. So, it's
Oh, I agree with you.
only not carnivore, obviously, Vegemite's not carnivore, but this flavour in the
Yeah, the
salt,
flavor.
and it's just like having a bit of a smoked salt. It's no difference, and it just gives that meat a different dimension. So if you're getting sick of steak, try the smoked meats, try the Vegemite salt. But I will get the details of the shop, and I'll make a community post to pop that up there, with a link to what I get. But it is pretty good, and it's really the salt crystals, so it's nice and crunchy when you bite into it. It's not like
Oh, I love the crunchy.
I'll send you some. Next time I send you a package, I'll get you some Vegemite salt. Send some up your way if you like.
That would be nice, at least to try it. Yep, I'd love to try it.
Yeah. Jenny, I also don't like chicken and pork. Makes me feel unwell too. I'm also having some issues with ground beef. Yeah, I don't have a gallbladder as well, so I've got like a few different issues.
Yeah, me too. I don't have one of them either.
Yeah, ground beef always gave me disaster pants. I'm now getting to the point where I can have it and it doesn't hurt me too bad, but just if I take all the rendered fat out, and if I want to add extra, I'll just put in some butter, or I'm
Like that
trying to
now.
stay away from butter now. I don't have too much butter. I try and because of the casein, they say some people have a bit of a like the dairy intolerance, and some people can be like sensitive to the casein in it. I don't know if I am, but I just thought I'm going to stay off butter for a little bit and see if it makes a difference.
Oh,
That's why I'm just having more of the tallow. Yeah.
so
And
yeah,
then
I'm actually into the butter at the moment. I mean, okay, admittedly, I've discovered Kirkland grass-fed butter because they
yeah.
finally had it up there, and oh, it's like candy. So,
Mm.
I'm sometimes I don't want animal fats. I just don't want animal fats. I'd rather just add the fats with some butter. I know that sounds really strange,
Have you
but
heard of brown butter bites?
I have. I just haven't made any, but I
Yeah.
have heard of it.
So I purposely haven't made any because I don't think I could moderate those. If they were
Yeah,
in,
that's probably why
I
I'm
just
not either.
and just grabbing, and I don't know, I don't need to because I don't like to snack. If I sit down and have a meal, I have a meal and then stop. And if
Yep.
there's things like that sitting in the fridge, my mind will be in the fridge the whole time
Yeah.
thinking, oh, one's not going to hurt. It's still carnivore. I can still have it, and I'll be snacking on those things all the time. So I
Oh,
purposely
yeah.
haven't tried them because of that reason. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
I get it. That's probably why subconsciously I haven't done it either. Uh,
Hi, Sandra. Sandra's in WA. The body is a barometer. It would seem I got egg aversion for years. Gosh, that would be terrible to have
oh
me
my
with
goodness
egg
me.
aversion.
Can we
Yeah,
just all align together and have the same aversion all at the same time, ladies and gentlemen?
yeah,
Apparently not. Isn't it
yeah.
amazing though, the body, what it tells us and what it says like, no, I don't want that, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. But
But yeah,
oh
I'm
my
always wondering if it's your body's way of saying I've had enough of this nutrient or whatever. I'm topped up. I don't need any more, and that's where the
yeah,
aversion comes in. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nothing. I'm just trying to think, why would I get an aversion to something? And I'm thinking maybe that's how what I start to say to myself. My body doesn't want any more steak. I think it's time to change it up.
yeah.
Move over to the seafood. Have some fish. I love salmon.
Salmon,
Um,
yeah, I took that. I went with that and salmon. Oh my God. That
yeah,
first night I had 2 pieces of salmon. I inhaled it.
yeah.
Um, I could not get it into my pie hole quick enough. I
Yes,
seriously, I'm like,
need.
"Oh, is this what hungry is?"
Yeah. I've never been a sardine person, but occasionally I don't mind some sardines. And
Mm,
I have to put them in a saucepan with a bit of tallow and I saute it all up. And I do use Todd's little trick of a bit of hot sauce. The vinegar, it goes Todd, I wish Todd was here because he would tell you what it actually, you use that energy. It actually gives you a bit of an energy boost, and it
mm,
goes through your lymphatic systems rather than through everything else or something. Like there's a whole
yeah,
science behind it, and he's got the good head about it all, like he could tell you. But I feel really amazing when I have a bit of hot sauce with it. So I guess that gets rid of that fishy taste. And if you get the right, I've tried few different brands. Some of them I'm just like, that's too sardiney for me. Um,
mm.
yeah, there is a brand, and I know it's a blue tin, and I actually really enjoy it with a bit of hot sauce and the tallow. And I mash it all up, so it looks like
Yeah,
baby food, which goes
it
down
did.
really well for me. But and I don't get the chunky bits of sardines, which is I find unpleasant. If I can sort of mask it, then it goes down really
Oh,
well. But I actually really enjoy it, and I feel really amazing when I have it. So every now and then, and it's the cheapest meal. Like it's $1.20 a tin or something ridiculous. And I
yeah.
have two tins and I'm full. That's a cheap
Good
meal.
gracious. That is a
Yeah.
cheap meal, darling. Yeah, well, put that in your wheelhouse, folks.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
mask it. You could
Oh,
probably
I do
make some
so.
little patties out of it or something. You could make little, do they call them crab cakes in the US or something? You could make sardine ones and make
Why
them
not?
into a burger of some sort. You could
Yeah,
probably do that. Yeah.
probably could. You
So,
probably could. See, I don't do sardines.
well, I didn't either, but I'm actually developed.
Is that a challenge?
I'm 2.5 years in, so you got another year before you might like it. You might sort of grow to like it. So
No,
never say
you
never.
never know. No, I know that. I know that. I do.
Yeah. I think a change in cooking methods can make a huge difference in palate fatigue or meat aversion. A steak and ground beef taste so different when cooked in a skillet versus an air fryer or grill. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
definitely a huge tip.
Yeah. I actually, I mean, okay, I'm not saying that the aversion to the porterhouse steak isn't real. It is. But when I saw the condition of the grill plate of our air fryer, I mean, by all accounts, I should have been a lot sicker. I mean, the coating, the Teflon coating was just non-existent. And I just said to my kids and my husband and said, if you guys cook anything in the air fryer for me, don't bother.
Yeah.
If it can't go on the barbecue out here or it can't go in a pan, don't bother. It's a cheaper version air fryer. Need to get a better version.
Yeah.
Like a Ninja or something like that. They've got a much better coating on their products. So yeah, there is a huge difference. Even though when I initially had the porterhouse steaks, I loved them being cooked in the air fryer. Love it. Loved it. But I don't think I could do that again in the air fryer.
Yeah. I love my Ninja. There's no coatings on those at all because with
Yeah.
birds, you can't do anything with Teflon. They're very
No.
sensitive to Teflon. So I have to be careful with things that I use in the house. The Ninja's perfect. If my birds, it doesn't kill my birds, then it's going to be okay for me to have. So yeah, I worry
Meanwhile,
that.
you can't have a meal in peace.
Oh, well, that's different. Yeah, Rio loves steak and Skittles loves eggs. They're little cannibals.
I'm laughing because I've seen this all in action, folks, and it is the cutest
Yeah.
darn thing you've ever seen. And
Yeah.
you cannot have a meal in peace.
Little beak in the egg, and he's got egg all over his beak.
Egg all over his feet.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I use my
No.
slow cooker a lot now. I do like a brisket or a roast lamb, and I do it all in the slow cooker. And I add a ton of water, so it gets very soupy, and I have a lot of broth with it. And then it becomes so pull apart delicious. My husband just likes a straight meat, whereas I'm left with all the broth. And then I just fill up my mug, and then I drink that, and then I have a bit of pull apart and a little ramekin, and I just sort of nibble on that. And I find it so nice rather than sitting there having big chunks of steak. And it's just a much lighter way of eating meat. So that's and with the Vegemite salt, you can change up the salts as well to give it different flavors. Super nice. And my smokers, this is my new favorite tool at the moment. Yeah.
Are we talking the Temu version or a real Ridgy-Dig version?
No, I got the Ridgy-Dig, my beautiful friend
Oh.
put in for my birthday a few weeks ago.
Oh.
And yeah, Ashley from Carnivore Brothers recommended a Traeger. And it's just the baby model, not the $8,000 model that he's got. Mine's just a little baby one. And it is just the best things. Super easy to use. And I'm actually going to put on a big Scotch roast that I bought. It cost me like $100 for this roast. It's a big piece. That will last hubby and I all week. I basically shave all the meat and then we just bits and pieces. I can have it cold. It's delicious cold. Or I can put the shaved bits in my air fryer, crisp it up, and then just dip it in some tallow. And either way, it's beautiful. Yeah, and that'll feed us lunch and dinner for the whole week. So that is pretty cheap. Like when you think $100 on a roast, that's a lot of money. But when you think
Well,
it's
if
going to
that's gonna
feed the whole
2
week,
people for a whole
yeah,
week,
2
yeah, that's
people
nothing.
a week, it's nothing. We actually save a lot of money doing that. And
Yeah.
you can use different pellets. I've got like a signature gourmet blend Traeger pellet, which is a blend of 3 different woods. And the smoky flavour, I mean, there's different smoky flavoured wood out there, so you can change it up just by changing the pellets. But that's, yeah, that was a real, I feel very spoiled having a smoker now, but after eating this, it was like, oh, I need one of
That's a
these.
big prezzy. That's a big prezzy. I saw
And
Old Guy Carnivore. I think Ninja have brought out a little box smoker.
oh,
I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to him doing a cook on that. But he put the whole thing together.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I don't think you'd have to be a rocket scientist, mind you. If he would do it anyway, because I think he is a very clever man. But
yeah,
it doesn't look hard to put together, and it would probably be a very good starting point for somebody who's just on their own or whatever, and they want to smoke some meats without having the great big machine kind of deal. But
yeah.
yeah, my husband's keen. He wants a smoker. He wants a smoker.
It's an investment. I think of all the money we're saving, not buying all the crap that we used to buy, medical bills, and even
Oh,
we don't
about
even
it.
used to have 2 recycle bins for all the takeout containers. We've got rid of one, and with the extra recycle bin, you had to pay for that extra recycle bin. We don't pay for that anymore. We barely put our bin out anymore because there's no rubbish to put in it. So all the money we save, I can put that towards buying, a smoker or
Yep.
anything else. Like, it all works out in the end. And like, as I said, I saved money. I bought myself a brand new car with all the money I didn't put towards, crap food and
Well, you
everything.
think about it. You said you were talking about the meat that you just bought, the Scotch fillet that was $100,
Yeah.
right? And that would feed you and Hubs for a week. A family of 4 could spend that easily in one night on takeout.
Oh, the 2 of us would spend 120, 130 a night on takeout
Exactly.
a night,
Exactly.
and I'm feeding us for a week.
Yep.
Yeah, and I get, eggs delivered fresh from our farm. They come once a fortnight. I get 20 cartons of eggs. My hubby loves his hard-boiled eggs, so he'll have a couple of those, 3 or 4, up to 6 a day, and then I might have 1 or 2 every other day, just egg yolks, or if I have my colada, I might have up to 6 in the one day, but they
Mm.
last us a long time as well, but that's fairly cheap.
Yep.
You're saving a lot of money. Yeah. So, and I don't mind paying a little bit extra for good meat
Oh,
because
no. Yeah,
not
of
as
course.
hungry. Like, we don't eat 3 meals plus snacks a day anymore. I'm only eating 1 or maybe 2 meals a day, so it is a big saving. So, yeah. Okay, mixing a little beer liver in with my beef
Probably a
liver.
little beef
Beef,
liver. Yeah.
yeah. I like beer
Anything.
with it. Yeah, I used to get, I think there's a place in New South Wales, and they actually do a mix. You can actually custom your own sausages or beef mince, and you can have any kind of offal in it. So you could have heart or liver, I think brains, and they can mix percentages of that. You can add salt or add eggs. You basically custom make your own ground beef or sausages. And,
Hmm.
yeah, I still don't like it though. Like, I've had it a few times because I thought, "Oh, liver will be really good for me," and, it's a good way
Yeah.
in there, but I just still can't get past the flavour, and you have to buy 5 kilos of sausages at a time because it's a special mix. You need to buy, so I had 5 kilos of these beef liver sausages, and they just sat in my freezer for ages, and
The hell out of
occasionally I'd freeze them. I'd take a couple of bites, I'm like, "Oh, not enjoying these," and the dog would end up with them, so she enjoyed them.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah, I just don't do, yeah, liver and all that. I just don't
I don't
enjoy
mind.
liver. You don't mind it?
I don't mind it. Look, okay, this will gross you out, but hey, this is for the sardines.
That's alright, go for it.
Steak and onions. Mum, Dad, and I used to have steak and onions for dinner sometimes.
Liver and
And
onion?
it's,
Liver.
liver and onions. Sorry, my bad. Liver and onions. Mum used to make a wicked steak and kidney pie. Okay, yeah, with crust, granted, but put Fray
Yeah.
Bentos out of business. Those who
Mm,
know will know what I mean by Fray Bentos.
no, I don't know.
It's a pie brand in England. Used to come in a
Okay.
tin. Used to come in a tin. And we didn't have a steak and kidney pie for ages when we came out here. And I came trailing home one day with a couple of these. She said, how the bleeding neck did you find them? So we had them, and she said, oh, I can make better than that. And she did.
Yeah. Jenny, she also has an aversion to egg whites and some fish, especially tuna and sardines, which is kind of weird because I used to love sardines and tuna.
Tuna
Yeah.
I'm okay with.
Mm. Yeah. See, I love the tuna in oil, but I don't like to eat the oil, so I stay away from tuna. Yeah, not real keen on the spring water tuna. I don't find it has the flavour that the oil one has.
And the egg whites, there's histamines in the egg whites, right?
A lot of people can have like an intolerance to the egg white. I think there's something like a biotin or something, which again, this is where Todd is really good. He knows the biotin, too much of it can actually be harming. So if it's cooked, it's okay, but raw egg whites are no good. So yeah. But with the lymphedema, inflammatory foods you need to stay away from those, and they do say that egg whites can be inflammatory, and that's why I choose not to have egg whites, because anything to help improve my lipedema and lymphedema.
Oh, I know, right? Oh my god.
Yeah, I just try and stay as low inflammatory as I can. Yeah. So there's a few people here that really like their salmon as well.
Team salmon.
And yeah, Ursula's in Auckland, so yeah, we're both welcome to visit. Maybe I think you live on an orchard, if I remember right, and she has got a beautiful view behind her. So definitely, we have Rita from Norway here as well. So welcome.
There's a couple of Ritas in the chat tonight. My mum's name was Rita. There's a couple of you floating around today.
Turkey mince makes tasty rissoles much better than minced chicken. Okay, never seen turkey mince.
Might have to write that one down.
Yeah. New England holidays are beautiful. Where's New England? Is that in? Is that in?
It's not England per se.
No.
New England. I want to say it's I don't know, but it's conjuring up images of like beautiful Maine, the Maine area, ports, beautiful countryside. But I mean, it was New England. It was they obviously had settlers that went there from England per se. But yeah.
Hi, Jane. Here's what you write, ladies. I'm in the most easterly point of Canada. There will be snow and roasted turkey at Christmas. Okay.
We might be there one day.
Well, we talk nearly every day, don't we, Mairwyn? So I can imagine what we're going to be like when we actually do meet in person. And yeah, you might regret that after you've seen us together. I'm sure it's not going to be.
I envision it like, like you've got a girl and a girl holding a skipping rope, and you play, okay? And you're like trying to sort of go into the skipping rope, trying to jump in and get in it. That's what it's going to be like for people on the outside when we are talking.
Yeah.
Don't bother. Don't bother trying to get a word in. It ain't going to happen. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Okay. Angie, I cannot eat lamb, just don't like it, but beef is always the best anyway. Yeah, I find lamb really dry. My husband loves it. He loves his lamb roast, but when I make it, I just sort of pick at it. I like the fatty bits. That's really tasty.
I love lamb fat. Oh my God.
Yeah, but the meaty part I find super dry. So I just you can have that, and then I end up having a colada or something because it's not enough for me. But
I always found with the lamb, you've got to let it sit. After you've cooked it in the oven, you have got to let it sit. That is one of those meats that the juices have got to be given that chance to go back into the lamb. Otherwise,
Yeah.
yes, it's very dry. Very, very
Yeah, I've
dry.
never been my mother never cooked meat. She was not into meat. My dad, he just ate bacon and egg sandwiches all the time, but apart from meat, it wasn't really cooked in our family. My grandmother, yeah, but she used to do it in a lot of sauces and things like that. So just to
Yep.
have a barbecue or cook a steak or, like the Aussies do it, it wasn't part of my culture. So when I sit down and do meat, like I used to say, just take it out of the freezer in the air fryer, 5 minutes it's done. And Todd would be like, oh, you got to do it in
Oh,
this.
yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
And I'm like, "You're
very
such a snob."
healthy.
Like, I'm just wanna eat it. But now that I've had the steak that they cooked, on their smokers and on their cast iron, and I'm like, "Okay, now you've spoilt the crap out of me because now I want my steak that way." It is really good, but I'd never had a nicely cooked steak before. So, yeah. Oh.
Yes, those smokers.
The chat isn't showing for me, but I did send a text, but it's invisible. I have
How strange.
no idea. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny's had gastric bypass as well. So it does
Mm,
make that carnivore
yeah.
journey a little bit more challenging, but you can do it. Just we can't sit down and eat a whole steak per se, but we've got to eat, a couple of bites here and there. Sometimes it'll take me 3 hours to have a steak. I just sit there and take a bite at a time just to get it
Yep.
down. But which is hard if you do go out. You go to a restaurant and everybody's finished, and here you are still trying to cut little pieces and chew. And I end up taking doggy bags home because I just can't
Yeah.
keep up with everyone else. So that is a bit of a pain. That's why I don't like to go out with people. If we do go out, it's not to a restaurant around food. We'll go and see a movie. I don't mind the smell of popcorn and that. It doesn't phase me. I just know I either eat beforehand or I know I'm going to go back home and eat my steaks. So I just think of all the chemicals they've got in it, and that kind of turns me off. And, I hear the crunching bags and whatever. I'm there to see
Oh,
the
I
movie.
know.
I'm there to enjoy time with my friend or my family or whatever. And I don't get triggered by those smells or those feelings because I know what would happen if I did make the bad choice of having something that would just continue. I would spiral and end up back where I was. And that is more frightening than having it's not worth it. Not worth it to get
I
into it.
remember when my mother, I won't go into the details, but at one point she did go on a diet. And Dad was feeling well, he was obviously in a mood. She was doing really, really well. She was losing weight, that whole based on the information we had at the time. This is leading towards how do you deal with those smells and those wonderful things that you used to eat quite regularly, but now are abstaining from. This is how my mother dealt with it. Okay, so my mother's sitting there doing really, really well, and my father walks in and he's holding a bag of chips, Smith's chips.
Mm.
And so my mother, over her glasses, exactly like this, she watches him walk into the room like that. He sits down and he starts pecking at these chips, hands in there. And I'm sitting there and could feel her prickling, like, ooh. And she said, John, yes, Reet, are you enjoying those chips? Yes, Reet, they're lovely, salty. I hope it bloody chokes you. She just said, I hope it chokes you. It was her way of saying she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it, of course, but a similar situation happened about a week ago, and we've got a popcorn maker here at home. My youngest likes popcorn, and when it goes off in the house, you smell that popcorn. It's like, oh my god, that smells wonderful. I was in my bedroom and I said, Joshua, hope it chokes you. And but we all know that it's said in jest, and it's a funny thing. We don't intentionally mean that. But yes, that's how my mother dealt with it. John, I hope it chokes you.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very nice, is it? I do. I hope it chokes you. She was trying to bloody stay away from that food. But
Oh,
yeah, but what do you do? It's just it's not worth it. Would I
yeah.
like to have I'd love a big bowl of salted popcorn. I don't even want butter on it, just salted popcorn. I would love it.
Well, my daughter made popcorn, just the microwave version that you can put in the microwave for
Yeah.
2 minutes, whatever. Well, she threw it in the microwave, didn't read the instructions, went to the toilet and whatever, and I happened to be in bed, and I thought my house was on fire. I could just smell something. I'm like, "What's that smell?" It was a terrible,
It's
terrible
putrid.
smell. Yeah, well, she burnt the whole inside of my microwave. It was brown. The smell, we had to open all the doors. I had to put the birds out. I thought they were gonna pass out due to the fumes because they were right in the kitchen, like they're in the sort of kitchen lounge. I
Yeah,
was in the room at the other end of the house. We had to literally keep the whole house open for like 2 weeks, and I threw my microwave out 'cause
yeah.
it was just infused in
The
this smell.
smell, yeah, we've had something like that before with the kids. They've not read it properly. Once the microwave burns out like that with something, you can't
Yeah.
use it. You can't.
So
Chuck it
if
out.
I do ever have a craving for popcorn, I just think of that experience and think, "No, that's a
Don't
huge."
want to lose another bleeding microwave.
Yeah, so you see the popcorn at the movies, and I just think of my daughter's popcorn. It's like, I'm not getting that stuff."
No, not happening.
Yeah. Question about the colada. Does the boiling water cook the egg yolk? When I throw the water in, I blitz it straight away.
Yep,
So,
it does.
yeah, so I think it is cooking it, but
Yep.
it's not chunky because you're blitzing it really well. It's very creamy. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Annalisa said it does cook it enough to make it safe if you're worried, because
Yeah,
that was one of my concerns.
yeah, yeah. Now, I'll say I don't mind the raw egg yolks. I always dip my steak in it, but it doesn't faze me. It's just so delicious.
Mm.
Sorry, I think I'm really behind in these comments. Let me go.
That's all right.
I add egg yolks, butter, and beef gelatin to my coffee. And Lindy, you got me intrigued about the Vegemite salt. I'm in America, but I love Vegemite. Oh, I don't think this shop will deliver to.
I think
Um,
you're gonna have to have a chat to the place that you get this salt from. Say, I think you might have be hiding this under a bushel. You could make yourself a small fortune. Get it on.
yeah, I might have to ask and see if I can get some brownie points and get some free Vegemite salt or something for a bit of promotion. That'll be nice.
I
Keep
think
me.
so.
Yeah. Now, I've had a lot of people ask about it, so I'll get their details. I'm actually going there tomorrow, so yeah, I'll have a chat with them and see what I can find out.
Yeah. Get an
Uh,
affiliate link, girlfriend, because you talked about it a fair bit, love.
oh, I'd use it myself because I go through it, and so does my daughter. So I make salmon and mackerel cakes with pork rinds for the binding. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The problem is
Mm.
finding clean pork rinds. There's not many
Yes,
here.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I love Pascal's. They've got a really nice one, but it's expensive. Little packets, and they're like $7 for a little packet. And you need a few packets to
Yeah.
crumb them enough to make
And what
anything.
about I
Mm.
know that, people in America, is it panko? Not panko. Pinko? Planko?
I
One
think,
of
yeah,
those.
panko. Yeah.
There's a pork rind. I don't know. I mean, I used to devour pork rinds that were from, Coles or Woolworths,
It's
and, I was like a couple of months ago, years old when I read the ingredients in them. I'm like and then I
yeah,
remember how much of those I put away thinking, "That's all right, it's keto. It's
yeah.
keto. Fine, not a problem."
Well, I hear a lot of the Americans talking about Costco. They buy all their meat there, and
Yeah,
so we went there last weekend. Went with my girls, and they had this whole fridge of bacon, American style bacon, all this, and my eyes lit up, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Went there. I looked on every label: dextrose, sugar, corn syrup, this, that. There was not one out of this whole wall of
what?
bacon that was clean. The meat, mind you, it was Sunday, so it was probably the worst day of the week to go to Costco because it was so packed. hardly any beef. There was rows and rows of pork, which obviously I don't eat, and there was lots of chicken, which again I don't eat. Not a lot of fish and not a lot of beef. They're very like I couldn't even find my Scotch fillet there.
Oh
I
my
saw the
God.
porterhouse and thought I'm not having porterhouse. I'm still got still got nightmares about porterhouse, but I couldn't even decent roast or anything. So we ended up going to Aussie Australian butchers, which is not far from us, and we found that the prices were better here than at Costco, which I assumed Costco buying in bulk would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But the butcher here is direct from farmer, like it's in between, and it was much more competitive. So
Huh.
I'm just going to buy my meat here. But
Yeah.
again, heaps of jerky, heaps of pork rinds. Not one of them were clean. So I was really disappointed because over in
That is
America,
disappointing.
no,
Dang.
all like Todd's always buying stuff from Costco and other places, and they can buy clean food. There's nothing clean here. So we're really disadvantaged in Australia. There's a market for it. You know, if we can have clean foods, we could definitely, but there's just nothing here for us. So the carnival
Dang.
crisps, oh my God, they were so good. I grabbed a few bags while I was up there and bought some of the
Yeah.
brisket ones home. They were to die for. They don't deliver to Australia. But even if they did, delivery is more expensive than the actual product.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
makes
The
it,
delivery from the States is ridiculous. It's
yeah,
like Life Pro, the vibration plate.
yeah,
I mean, I instinctively, when I was deciding to get one, I went straight to Bill Knott's affiliate link because I'm like, well, if I'm going to get it, then I'm going to support him. Duh. Why wouldn't
yeah,
I?
yeah.
And then I discovered they don't deliver here. I'm like,
Mm,
well, what the heck now? And it's a shame. But then you think, well, if they could deliver here, could you imagine the postage on it?
yeah. They
Postage
should
would
have
be
a
daylight
distributor
for
or
me.
something, and it's a missed market for sure. Because yeah, we get a lot of recommendations from the US, and you want to try these things, but you just
You
can't.
can't.
No competition. So
No.
yeah. Hi Jenny, I struggle with fat absorption due to the gastric bypass and not having a gallbladder, and I also have issues with certain textures and extreme gag reflex, probably due to sensory processing disorder.
Oh,
Yeah,
darling.
and I thought I was pretty much fat adapted until I went to Texas, and I disaster pants every day. I couldn't eat. Like I literally fasted in Texas. I had planned to go there, have a tomahawk steak, and try all these things, within reason, because I eat like a bird. I'm like, just save me a piece of your meat off your plate. And I was picking off everyone else's plates because I can't eat a full steak. But I couldn't try anything. The first night we arrived, Ashley from Carnivore Brothers made me a beautiful ribeye. I'd never eaten a ribeye before, and I took a few bites of that, and then I had to stop because, I couldn't eat a lot, and I think he was offended because I didn't eat the whole steak, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry, but I've had lap band surgery, so I can only eat a little bit." So we wrapped it up,
Yeah.
and I'll pick at it all, for the next couple of days. But not long after that, I'm straight on the toilet. It's like they have so much fat on their meat compared to what we have here in Australia that it literally went straight through me, and any time I
Yeah.
had meat, I'd be on the toilet. So if I knew we were going out, I wouldn't eat, and we'd go to restaurants, with Bella and all these influencers, and they're sitting there pounding away the meat. Dr. Chafee and Dr. Baker are all sitting there, and they're hoeing into these tomahawks, and I'm sitting there just watching them because I was too scared to eat anything. That really put a damper on my my trip because I had planned to have so much, try a bit of everything and be part of this beautiful carnival community. And I did take pleasure in watching everyone else eat, thinking, oh, well, if I hadn't have had this surgery, maybe I could have eaten. Maybe I wouldn't have the disaster pants and stuff. I'd obviously, I don't know, but I thought I was fat adapted. Obviously, I'm not when it comes to going to a different country and them having a lot more fat on their meat than we do here.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, it did all go straight through me. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I'll just think, what else have we got? I think steak cooked on the grill is the best. I would eat it exclusively if I could.
Yeah.
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 We do have a barbecue. We bought a really big one, beautiful one when we moved here because it had the gas outlet at the back, so we had it all hooked in, so we don't have to use gas
Yeah.
bottles.
Yep.
My husband doesn't cook. He had visions of, becoming this excellent barbecue chef, but we've used it maybe, I could count on the number of time on my hands, the number of times he's used it. We've lived in this house 12 years. So, if we
That's all right.
do barbecue, my son-in-law will cook, or my brother-in-law, he'll cook the meat because
Yep.
my husband cremates the meat. Everything comes out black charcoal and disgusting. So, yeah, it's still sitting here. We still don't use it. The smoker is maybe because Ashley gave me lessons. He taught me how to use it. So I smoke the meat. He doesn't go anywhere near my smoker because
Oh,
he'll
no,
just
no, 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 no. Oh, no. That's your baby.
Aldi carry their own label of the Irish Kerry cold butter.
Huh, okay, didn't know that. I might
You
have
have
to
Aldi's near you,
send
or?
hubby out on another little jaunt, on a little
Mm.
adventure.
We've got an Aldi's near us, but I don't go shopping on my own. But I'm going to start heading out, and I might go and have a look. Yeah, for when I do have butter again, like in my coladas, I do. Hi Sheila. Hello from St. Louis. Haven't experienced meat aversion, thank goodness. I do love to switch up my Redmond salt. So good. Yeah, they have a lot of the smoked salts as well, I believe, different flavors.
Yeah.
And yeah, again,
I'd love
it's
to
really
get Redmonds.
yeah, I did actually order some. Cost me a fortune, and I've still got most of it here because I don't want to use it because I feel like I'm wasting it.
Yep.
Paid
Yep.
so much to have it delivered, so I don't want to just waste it. So I use
Yeah.
it for special occasions. But we have so much good salt here. I think the Olsons, have you ordered some? The Olsen
Not
salt?
yet. Not yet.
Comes in a beautiful little container. It's like a
I
ceramic
know.
spoon. It is so
Lindy,
cute. And that
I know.
tastes awesome. Yeah. And then you can buy the refills to keep in this little, it's a salt
Yeah.
tin. So good. I'm really enjoying that one at the moment. Plus my Vegemite salt. So I kind of mix them up. Cherrywood and applewood are my favorites. That's for the pellets. I can't remember what was in this signature blend that I'm using, but I know it was 3 different ones. I'll have to check when I buy another packet. Yeah. I love sardines. Sometimes I add them to scrambled eggs with hot sauce. Chicken of the sea sardines packed in water are very mild. There you go.
Yeah, somebody else that does this similar thing.
Yeah. So is it because they're very fishy that you don't like them, or what is, or just the look of them, or?
Yeah, there's that. There's
'Cause I
that. But
know Lymphoedema doesn't like it either because they are scary to look at, but she mashes them like I do. So, if you're not seeing it,
if the
it's like
eye doesn't see the heart, don't think about yes.
you eat
Yeah.
livers and brains and stuff, don't you?
I know. I mean, what can I tell you? I won't
Yeah.
eat sardines, but I'll eat liver,
Yeah.
kidney. Yep. Crazy.
So let's have a
Crazy.
look. Lately, I've had a craving for dry beef tongue, supposed to be very tender. I see carnivore slicing the seasoned meat and making tacos.
I say, I draw the line there. My father would have. Oh, he loved all the offal for days. And yeah, he said, bit of beef, like sheep's brains. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
We had went to a Korean barbecue in Texas, and Todd actually ordered some beef tongue, and I looked at it and I just said, "Nah." But I did try a little bit. I couldn't. Yeah, that was it. I just thought, no, I couldn't. I couldn't eat it. So he had the whole plate to himself. But I did try. I was good, but I
Good
didn't
for
find
you,
it.
darling.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. So I'm not going to eat something I don't enjoy.
But
But
if you have a craving for it, do
yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
know,
Cool.
yeah, if you get the craving for it, God knows what's in it that you might be craving that you need. Do it.
Yeah, Jenny has histamine issues. There's a lot of people with histamine issues, so you
Too.
just have to avoid those foods.
Yeah.
Here we go. New England is in the northeast US. There
It
we
wasn't
go.
far off. Wasn't far off.
Um, Here we go, Yvonne. How are you? Biotin is only a problem when they are separated from the yolks. The whole leg is a perfect food to sustain the growth of a new organism, baby chick. Well, there you go. Yeah,
Huh.
and I did hear it was only the whites when they're not cooked, when they're raw, they can be a problem as well. But yeah, if it's cooked, then it's okay. But great.
Huh. Yep.
I have trouble with the lamb being dry, but I found a way to prepare it that makes it super moist and delicious. Yeah,
Yeah. If it
I do
works,
my slow
works.
cooker with lots of water, so I have a lot of the broth, and then I just eat the fatty bits with the broth. So that's my way of
Mm.
eating. And then hubby can have the dry meat, like he enjoys it. So it's a win-win. A
Yep.
perfect.
Just everybody wins. Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Lamb chops. Yeah, I actually bought some lamb chops. I do love those. Again, I love the fatty bits, and I normally eat the fatty bits and give the other bits to my hubby.
Honestly, I don't know what it is about cooked lamb fat, especially
Yeah.
on the lamb chops. Oh my God. Oh. It's so tasty to me. I think that's the favorite of all my meaty fats is the lamb fat. Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Love it.
My friend needs help on carnivore for a month. Um, Leg swelling, taking water pills, not losing weight. Yeah, the swelling legs could be a bit of lymphedema. It's a circulation issue. So we currently use a vibration plate or a rebounder, depending on what level your friend is at. I find they're really good. When you wake up in the morning, I either jump on the vibration plate, sometimes a
Same.
rebounder, just get that little pump action, getting the circulation moving. So definitely walking, and that sometimes it doesn't seem to work for me. It can actually make it worse.
Worse.
I need to do the vibration or the rebounding first. And the rebounding is just a gentle bounce. My feet don't leave the mat. It's just the bounce, pump action up and down on the mat. And that is enough to get the lymphatics moving, and it just pushes that fluid out of your legs, and then hopefully can get it out. I also find cheese and dairy can inflame and cause the edema. If I have cheese, sometimes we go out and there's like a cheese platter, and because I don't eat anything else, I'll just munch on a bit of the cheese, and that's my way of dealing through social situations. The next
Yep.
day, I have the fluid in my legs. So cheese can also, it may not be for everybody, but for me personally, cheese and dairy does cause a lot of inflammation as well.
I mean, it's like Todd says, go all in, all hard, because because carnivore lion diet to me is boss level. But it is the ultimate in healing lifestyles, but it's also the ultimate way to eliminate things that are causing problems with our bodies. And the only true way to get a gauge on what is causing those problems is just take everything out. Only eat meat, salt, even take the coffee out, take it, just strip it right back down to the bare minimum. Not going to know what's causing those problems until you get rid of all of those potential problems. And then
Yeah,
after a little while, start reintroducing them. Like last night for me, for instance, I made 2 meatloaves, right? I made 2. I made one for me that just didn't even have salt in it. I thought because it's got bacon in it already, I'll add salt if I need it. The other one had the cheese on top, and it had onion flakes in it and garlic powder. right? Now, I cut mine off, my portion from mine that I made, but I actually, for the first time in just over 6 months, I took some of the flavoring from the other one that had the garlic and onion powder in it, and I just put a little bit of that juice on top of mine just to
Mm.
see what happens. Because I thought after 6 months, I'm like, it's time to broaden the horizons a little bit, but still keep it within the realms. But I'm not going to know what these things are doing to my body until I've taken them out, left them out for a while, and then brought them back in to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to post a video that we did with Dr. Leslie Keith. It's a 3-hour video, but it's all about lymphedema and lipedema. So I'll pop it in the comments.
Watch it, folks. Please watch it. Oh my God.
Because Elizabeth says that she also has aches and can barely walk. So aches all over. Lipedema causes a lot of aches. I used to, especially the tops of my thighs, when I go to bed at night, I couldn't sleep because my thighs would be aching. It's just, it's a terrible feeling. It's almost like restless legs and just a dull pain. And I don't have that pain anymore since being carnivore, but I have to be really strict. Also with the fluid, I know Todd and Michael have cut salt back in their diet. They barely put salt on their food, and that's also helping with getting rid of some of their fluid, whereas I find I'm okay with salt, but maybe because I'm more into my journey, and I don't find I'm getting a lot of swelling in my legs anymore. It's only when I have a bit of dairy or when it's really hot outside and I've been exercising a lot. If I'm walking a lot more, then I find that I get a bit more fluid. So maybe that's when I would feel that maybe reducing salt may help me as well. But do send that link to your friend. It is a long video. You can watch it in little drips. Yeah, I'm actually trying to break it down at the moment and just do little short bursts of video, so it's a little bit more. You can just go to
It's a lot though, but that's the problem with this particular video though. There is so much information in that 3 hours. I mean, how do you break it up? I mean, literally everything that she says, everything that comes out of her mouth is like gospel.
And every time I watch it, I have watched it a few times. Every time I watch it, I pick up another gold nugget that I missed the first few times.
Yes.
I didn't hear that. Like, I still learn from it. So it's a really good one to rewatch. And we're actually going to have her on a show again, and she's going to be on Steak and Butter Gang in the next couple of weeks as well. She's already so that's going to happen as well. So I am super excited because I do have a lot of lymphatic issues and lipedema, and I'm actually booked in to have surgery to remove some loose skin on my stomach, and I'm very, very nervous because doctors don't know a lot about lymphedema and lipedema. They can cut the lymphatic system, cause more problems. My surgeon is a lymphatic specialist, but I still want to know as much as I can so I can ask him the questions and make sure he's going to do the right thing by me. I'm sure he's fine, but I still need to put myself in the best position that I know this is my body, and I have damaged it with what I've done with my eating, and I've got so much loose skin. I can't afford, and I've listened to the doctors. I've had, lap band surgery and all this other stuff. My gallbladder's been taken out, and I wish I still had my gallbladder. If I had known about carnivore, I could probably have saved that and not had, all these issues with bowels and whatever later because of it. And if I didn't have this lap band surgery, I'd be able to eat a steak. This is what I needed to hear when I was 21, not when I was 50. So that's, my life would have been so different if I had a found carnivore at 21 before. But anyway, I need to make sure that I'm, well researched and know what's going on, and make sure my doctor knows that I understand. And he's going to be, I'm putting my health into his hands, and I want to make sure he does the right thing by me. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to speaking with Dr. Keith and just asking a ton of questions. Yeah. Christine, I'm surrounded by people who eat shite all in my house. Yeah, my son was eating a fresh cream raspberry last night while the grandkids slept on ice cream. I went to my room. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, my family don't eat in front of me at home. My husband, I call him a dirty carnivore. He doesn't. He loves his treats, his iced coffee,
What?
and yeah,
Oh,
you
he and
know,
I are gonna have words. Ooh.
but he doesn't bring it into the house. If he wants
Yep.
to have iced coffee and CC chips at work, he can have it. I don't care as long as he doesn't leave wrappers on my seat. So if I go and sit in his car, I don't have to see his crap. He gets rid of it. He can do what he likes at work, but when he's at home, don't bring it in the house because I don't need the temptations, and I don't want to spiral. My daughter, sometimes she'll order a pizza, or she likes her chocolate biscuits or whatever, but she eats them in the room. She'll never eat in front of us. I don't go into her room. That's her space. So it doesn't tempt me, but we don't keep things in the kitchen. But
See, I'm yeah,
that's
different.
pizza.
I'm
But
different.
yeah,
I
like I
yeah,
don't she's got her shelf. I don't touch her shelf in the fridge. So that's
yeah.
her space. Whatever she goes there, I don't touch it. I just look at my stuff. So, yeah, but we don't really have anything that I'm pretty good now. Like I don't sort of feel as though I'm missing out anyway. I enjoy what I eat. So,
I must admit, I do get the poops a little bit when my husband comes home with, like, sugary drinks, which because I have to remind myself that there's not nearly as much sugary drinks or even the diet drinks that come into this house anymore because I put my flipping foot down. Um, but, I have to acknowledge that, my family have increased their meat intake. Would I like the bread to be cut down and the other stuff that comes into the house a little bit more? Yeah, I would. But I don't know. I've become really, really good at sort of like turning a blind eye to it. However, Christine, remember this. So my son was eating fresh cream and raspberries, but last night while the kids slept on ice cream. Just remember this, sweetheart. He's got to go home with those kids on the sugar high.
yeah,
It's not you that will have to deal with that. It's him.
yeah,
Okay? You did the right thing by you. You can't do any better than what you did. You went to your room. You did the right thing by you. But yeah, he's got to go home with the sugar high kids. Good luck
yeah.
with that, son.
Okay, this is Elizabeth's friend again. Apparently, she has AFib. They put her on Ozempic, I guess, and
No,
she's stopped.
yeah, Ozempic.
Yeah. Um, Todd had problems with his heart as well. He actually put on, I don't know how many kilos in fluid when he had his issues. That's all fixed now. Like his carnivore helped him there. But check out Dr. Philip Avadia. He's a heart specialist, a heart surgeon. He'd be a great resource for her as well. And he has a lot of
Yeah,
videos about AFib and definitely research more Dr. Avadia. And if you check out the Carnivore Cure, Todd's channel, he does talk a lot about his heart issues that he had. And he's doing so well now. So,
yeah, he is.
yeah. Try the carnival ice cream recipes. The last one I saw was very easy. Poured into a pan, freeze, and scoop. Oh, ice cream was my crutch. I loved my ice cream, and that's why I got to where I am now, having a lap
Yeah.
I call it the slippery shit food. It goes down easily. I can eat as much ice cream as I like and not have any issues. And I know that would be the same with
I
carnivore
couldn't
ice
do it.
cream.
Yep.
In the freezer, I would want it. I did
Slippery
recently,
slope.
I did recently try the carnivore pancakes. Bella has a recipe, and I did enjoy those, but it's too much work for me. So I wouldn't prepare a lot. Like if we do have it, it might be a Sunday morning breakfast that I make for the family because my husband and daughter actually love them as well. They would have cream and honey on theirs. I would just have mine plain or a little bit of butter on it. And they're really light and fluffy. But it's not something I would make every day because I'm lazy. So I don't think I can go too bad with that. And it's literally the gelatin, collagen, and eggs. That's it.
Yeah.
Complete carnivore. And they come out that like I made them about that big and they're super fluffy. Real they're thick and fluffy. So Bella Steak and Butter Gang, if you have a look at or Steak and Butter Girl, if you have a look at her channel, she's got carnivore pancakes and they were delicious. So definitely if I want to treat, that's probably all I do. Yeah. The ice cream, that would be too I couldn't
Oh,
monitor.
yeah.
Yeah, good job if you can.
Yeah, if you can, for sure.
Do you guys have Amazon? You can get clean stuff on Amazon here. I
My
haven't
husband
found.
has Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we don't have the same things that they do in the US though. So
Yeah. There's things that you guys can get that won't or can't be delivered to
yeah,
Australia.
yeah, the things that I have looked at, they just don't deliver to Australia, even on Amazon. So yeah, it just says nope. They put her on a Zempic period. She went to a cardiologist and discovered a AFib. They put her on another drug. She voluntarily quit Ozempic. I'm
Thank
glad.
God.
Yeah. Look, if she can just.
See,
I
just look at
don't
these
know.
doctors just handing out all this haphazard, pardon me, crap.
Yeah.
Oh, well, with that, okay, well, that problem's cropped up. Let's give them that Band-Aid. Oh, look, that problem. Let's give them another Band-Aid. What are
Yeah.
they doing? Oh,
And if you go to my channel, and I don't know, I won't speak for Mairwyn, but I've got my email address in there. I'm more than happy to have a chat with her and just tell her my experience with how things were with I have severe lymphedema and lipedema, and since being carnivore, I just feel so good. And you starting carnivore, you do feel worse before you start to feel better
yeah,
because you're changing your ways, you're changing your diet. You've gone from one extreme to the next, and you do start to feel a lot worse. And you sort of think, "Oh, this isn't working either." Well, it will work. You just got to give it time for your body to catch up, adjust to the new way of eating, get rid of all the toxins that you've built up in your body, get rid of all the sugars, get rid of the cravings, and it wasn't until I found community, which was Steak and Butter Gang at the time, that I was able to commit. I did carnivore by myself for 6 months, and I was drowning. I didn't feel I was doing it right. There was so much information out there. I just felt really lost. It wasn't until I joined a community and I could actually be inspired by all these people, listening to all their stories and how they're healing this and fixing that. And grandmothers were now getting on, throwing their walking machines out the
yeah,
trolleys out the window, and they're sitting on the floor playing with their grandkids. These were the stories I needed to hear to tell, remind me why I'm doing this and that this is a good thing for me to do. So community was a really big part of my journey. And even now, like I talk a lot with Mairwyn, but Todd and Michael, finding them was the best thing that ever happened to me. We
bless their
talk
heart.
all the time, because we've all been really, in a bad place. We've all had one foot in the grave. We all thought that our lives were over. And
Yep.
now here I am going out and driving and doing things, and I've been given a second chance at life by doing carnivore. So, yeah.
Community is really important. I couldn't even stress that enough. I just, you know, the carnivore community is quite unlike. I've been in a few communities, and my opinion is that the carnivore community is the gold class of all communities. I've never come across a community like it. Um, other communities could learn a ton from the carnivore community. Trust me. Your friend does not have to do this alone. And look, I'm glad that she's off the Ozempic, and there could be a few little things going on there that however time she was on it, that if she's carnivore, her poor body's going, what? You want
Yeah.
me to do what now? Oh, nearly. So it does throw you out of whack for a bit. And if she's had this Ozempic in her system, it's probably trying to get out.
Mm.
And the carnivore is trying to help get it out. It's going to take a little bit of time and it's going to take a little patience. But honestly, I'm out of all of that, I'm just glad that A, she stopped taking Ozempic because boy, and two, she's on carnivore. It will get there. She will get there. But
Yeah.
don't do it alone. Please don't do it alone. Reach out. Reach
Yeah.
out.
And we're not doctors. We can't tell you
No.
what to do, whatever. But what we can do is, we've been through a lot as well, and we can just talk about our experiences, so your friend won't feel alone. It's
Yeah.
like, we went through all this too. You're not weird. You're not a freak.
Yeah.
This is the emotions that we go through, and we can just talk about how we navigated different situations to get through it, and you will get past it and on the other side of it. But just having
Yeah.
someone that knows where you've been, what you're going through, that just to, big shoulders that you can just dump on. I'm happy to be that, and I'm pretty sure Mairwyn as
Yeah.
well. We're
For
happy to be
sure.
that person, to be there just for support. So
Yep.
just feel free to reach out to anybody. Just reach out. I've got my email address in my profile, and
Me too.
we can do a little private chat like this. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to.
Nope.
Just do the voice thing. But this is what it's all about. We want to try and help as many people find their, become limitless. And what can I
Yeah.
say?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Nobody
You're not
should
wrong.
be. You should never feel
No.
alone. Yeah, it's still going. So you love your friend, and we
You
want
do.
the best for your friend as well. And and it's hard. You don't want to rely on people. You do want to. You just sort of think, oh, I'm a lost cause. You're never a lost cause. I was
No.
over 350 kilos, 800 pounds, and look at me now.
Ta-da!
I was a lost cause, and I got a second chance at life. And it's hard work. I'm not saying it's been easy, and it still is hard. Like every day I have to talk to myself, those things still come into my head occasionally.
Oh,
And
yeah.
but I'm trying to make the right choices. And occasionally, like ever since Texas, I've been a little bit all over the place and trying to find my feet again. And I'm getting there, but it's a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong
Yeah,
thing.
it is. I mean, you haven't indicated whether your friend is type 1 or type 2 diabetic. If I was going to give you a recommendation, Kerry from Homestead How recently did a live stream, I believe, with about 4 or 5 doctors, and it's about diabetes.
Dr. Berry, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Hampton.
Yep. I'd go and watch it. Because if your friend is, see, I'm also about the emotional and mental side of this, and this is one of the reasons why I do my vlogging on my channel, is that carnivore is the ultimate in healing lifestyles, and it demands that we heal ourselves and heal our bodies. That includes up here, and that includes in here. It's not to say that you can't just do the meat thing. You can, but there's going to come a time where this kind of stuff's going to be in your face. And there's a reason why you get that fog lift, you get that clarity, you get better mental health. And I believe it's to help you with the emotional stuff, right? That's what I feel. But, you are that sort of friend that kind of Adrian is for me. If you educate yourself, she may not be in that place to do all this research and to get all this information. She may not be there mentally and emotionally. So the fact that you do it so that you can be that soundboard for her, that is going to mean heaps to her. Trust me. So even if you go and watch these things and then you can relay these things to your friend and say, hey, look, don't believe me. Here's the link. Here's the link. But at least you'll have that education and you'll be able to sort of help her over the hump of whatever this is that she's going through right now with the not losing the weight. I'd say it's a lot of it is the lymphedema and the problems with that. But also you can still get inflamed, and that can put on weight as well. You can get it from stress. I mean, if she's sitting there stressing about all of this that's going on with her body, yeah, that could add to it too. There's just so many different things. But I'm glad, Elizabeth, that your friend has you, sweetheart. I'm really, really glad.
Okay, I'm just looking for a video. Sorry, I've got 50 windows open. Do you want to read that while I look for the video?
Sure, from Deb. Lindy, can you post the easy walking video that you and Lynn were doing last week? I can't seem to find an easy one on the Walking with Rick YouTube.
Okay, I'm just trying to find the one that we did. Sorry, I didn't think it was too far. He just did one.
For a 2 show here, we need an admin.
Yeah, Mike told me all this, but he's busy today. I think this is it. Anyway, I'll pop this one in, but the guy that we follow, his name is, the channel's called Get Fit with Rick. So Get Fit with Rick. And he just put a new one out, which I haven't tried yet. It's a 2024 hits or something. So I think that was the one that we may have done. It's on my other computer, so I don't have the link on my laptop. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. This is our weekly, Lynn, Midlife Carnivore and I. We did an arm flab challenge last month because we got a couple of bat wings. We're just trying to, strengthen up the.
Okay, you showed yours. I got to show mine now. That's it.
Yeah.
I got to show mine now. Okay, yeah. Get ready for Batman. Hey. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know. If anything, so that's a lymphedema here. Do you have that? I don't have. It's like a crease. I don't have it on this like I do on that one. Yeah, you got the crease. You only got it on one arm. It sort of bolts
it's worse
up.
on the other. But we knew that, didn't we, Lindy? It's worse on one side than it is on the other.
Yeah.
And it does.
That's my worst side as well.
Bag of peas. Ew.
Yeah. So we did the arm flab challenge. I actually lost a centimetre on one arm and a half a centimetre on the other. So we're doing that this month, but I'm just doing it every second day because it's pretty hard. And the walking challenge we do every day, or I try to do it every day. I haven't done it this morning because of this live stream, but I will do it later this afternoon. 15 minutes. Sometimes I do it twice a day because 15 minutes you can do it, and it's just a really cool video. Like, I actually enjoy it. And I don't like exercise. I hate exercise, but I love doing these walking challenges. So to find something that I actually enjoy doing, I actually look forward to getting up and doing it, for me is saying something. So there's lots of different exercise, like different walking challenges. I think it was Britney Spears, there's Bruno Mars, then like different compilations of videos. Find something that you like. If you're starting out, you've got the slow ones, like the one the one I posted was the easy one. I found it really easy. I didn't find it challenging enough. So I've moved on to Bruno Mars, which is a little bit boppier. That I'm struggling with. But a little bit. I think I needed that challenge, and so on a day that I'm not feeling my best, I might just stick with the easy one. But if I'm feeling a little bit more pumped, I'll give Bruno a try and
go
do
full Bruno.
but I just change it up with how I feel, and that's that video is 2,000 steps. That's 2,000 steps more than I would normally do, because I don't.
I may have to look him up.
Get Fit with Rick, and he's always on a pier. I think he's in Dubai. So you've got like the Dubai. There's a Ferris wheel, and there's like the beach, a bay.
Wow.
It's really, really, yeah. It's actually really pleasant to watch. I can put on a little bit. Let me see. Chart hits. So 2,000 steps. Here we go. Let me see if I can stream a little bit. I won't put the sound on because
copyright.
Yeah. Best dance. Here we go. Share. Did that share? Register. There we go. So it's actually really pleasing to look at. And it's not bad eye candy.
Let's get these arms moving and feet moving. Now, if you've got
I'm not blind.
Yeah, so you've got a nice back view. You've got these little things, so it shows you what the next move is.
Step track,
so you can sort of prepare for it. Doing this, I realised how my coordination has gone out the window. I used to actually really love dancing. Now I'm very uncoordinated. So like he's doing left to right, left to my feet are going left to right and left to left. As soon as I get the move going, he changes the move on me. I'm like, oh, now I've got to learn a new step. So it's been a little bit, but as I'm doing it, I find my coordination's getting a little better, and also my balance. My balance is out. So sometimes there might be a few moves, like the easy challenge is really easy. Like I'm okay with that. Some of the more advanced moves, I can't do. I can't lift my legs too high because I've got a big belly in front of me. That gets in the way. So as long as I keep moving my feet and just marching, I'm still moving, I'm still getting steps in. If the movements are a little bit too hard, I just continue to move and just work through those and wait for the next move. So
it goes down one.
The music's good. You just do what you can. If you can't do something like this one, it's a little bit harder than what I'm.
Oh, honey, if I moved like that right now, I'd burst my foo-foo valve. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this is the new video. I haven't actually seen this one yet, but I don't think I could do this one. Yeah, that's a little bit too active for me. But there's obviously people out there that can do it.
Excellent, good. From here,
this is my goal. I hope to be able to do this and look like I'm actually enjoying it and make it look easy. He makes it look very easy, but when I do it,
let's go on. Add some more energy to this now.
But we'll get there.
I'd be going to the offer already.
Home to marches, right foot.
Yeah, but you have to start somewhere, and I just think it doesn't matter where you are at your journey. Like,
as long as you're moving,
you could just stand up, even with you. When you stand up, just march on the spot for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all you need. You don't need to do a lot. Just getting a few extra steps than you would normally.
If you're familiar with current try hits,
I think you mentioned walking around your billiard table.
Okay. Let's get his arms
how many times do you normally do that? None. So if you walk around at once, it's more steps than you did the day before.
Steps up. As I mentioned, slow impact and joint friendly. So no matter what fitness level you are,
it's all relative. So anyway, he's really good. We love him. There's another couple of other videos as well. Lots of channels.
Definitely. Yeah, he's not difficult to watch, is he?
No. Yeah. So anyway. That I think I posted the video for you, so check him out. And if you want to join us, it's never too late. You can start anytime. I think this is week 2 for us for this challenge, and then we're doing the arm challenge as well, which is every couple of days. I might do that one, but I force myself to do that one. I hate it. It hurts like hell. Really, really bad. But I did get some improvement. So you do have to push past that and do things that you don't want to do sometimes. So
yeah, I mean, I saw one of the exercises. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have boob issues.
Yeah, that's the prayer move. So you got to do this, and then you lift your arms up, and I can't do it. And I
Uh,
just
I got big
do the
gaps.
movements. Yeah.
I got boulders. They get in the
Yeah, there's
way.
real estate in between my elbows. You can't get them
Just a
together.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Lynn can do it, and it's becoming easy for her as she goes. I still can't. And that does my head in. I actually don't do that exercise. I just spin my arms. I don't even try doing it anymore because it just throws me off. It just
Yeah.
makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like a failure. I can't do it. So I just skip it altogether and keep my arms up and raised, and I just do another movement. And so I'm still working, just I can't do that move. It blocks me every time. So
Yep. So, yeah.
It's this one. Dr. Westman said, don't take potassium when you're taking water pills. Honestly, I've had a fluid for a long time. My grandmother, she always had fluid in her legs, and she used to be on the Lasix, and she would take tons of them. Well, back in the day, this is when I was a teenager, I used to help myself to her Lasix to try and get rid of the fluid. So, and she didn't mind. She was like a chemist. The doctor would just give her tablets willy-nilly, and I thought, well, if it's helping her and, maybe it'll help me. It never got rid of my fluid.
No.
Never. And is that
Boy.
because of lymphatics? It's something different, I'm guessing. Like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but I would take fluid tablets and it wouldn't get rid of the fluid in my legs. But the rebounding and vibration plate does.
Huh.
I don't know.
Go figure. Go
Yeah.
figure.
So definitely it's a much healthier option as well if you can do some gentle rebounding or the vibration plate. It sounds like that would be
Oh,
well. I have mine
I
under my desk currently, and when I'm
yep.
working, I have that going pretty much all day. My feet are just moving. It's just getting everything moving, and
Yeah.
when I get up to go and get a drink or go to the toilet, I can actually get up like a normal human being. I don't feel like I'm a 90-year-old woman and everything hurts because my
Yeah.
feet have been moving.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, hi from Maine.
No, darling.
Let's see. It says my doctor wanted to give me insulin day 4 of carnivore. Oh gosh. I reversed my type 2 diabetes within 3 months.
A lot do.
Yeah. And my daughter's type 1, she went carnivore. She was good carnivore. Like she's 33 years old. Her levels have never been managed properly. She keeps getting this random spike, and no matter what she did over all these years, she could not get rid of this spike, and the doctors would just tell her she was doing she's always been low carb. She was doing it wrong. She needs to try harder, get her HbA1c going and all this. Wasn't until she did carnivore for that month she got rid of that high spike.
Type 1.
Type 1 diabetic. She's not strict carnivore now, but she's very meat heavy with a little few veggies. So she's still doing really well, and she still gets a little high spike now. So the veggies is not working for her, but at least she knows that she got rid of that spike by going strict carnivore for a month. She's now halved her insulin as well. So that's been very helpful as well. Yeah. And I just said to her, maybe she needs to cut back and go strict again, and then introduce one vegetable at a time. See which is that spiking it. So that's what we're going to work on over the next few weeks.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
So it's just the doctors aren't very helpful. They're just saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. And this doctor currently, her endocrinologist, is he's very low carb orientated, whereas most of the other ones are like, you can eat whatever you like, just dose up with insulin. That was what she's been told until we found this new one. He still thinks you need to have carbohydrates, which I am not saying anything. At least he's saying keep it as low carb as you can. So I'm really happy about that. But even as a type 1 diabetic, she has had improvements just by
Yeah.
going carnivore. She could live. Unfortunately, she loves her vegetables, and that's why she keeps falling into that trap. And I'm like, if the keto approach is what you need to do to stay consistent and stay on track, that's okay. But we need to find out what vegetable
Which vegetable? Yeah.
these spikes. So let's cut it back, go carnivore, and then introduce one vegetable at a time and see what happens. Because she's got the
Just got the
CGM.
monitor.
Yeah, she's got the monitor. She just scans it. Let's find out which vegetables she can have and not have that huge spike, because her HbA1c's come down. So I think she's 8 now. She got up to like 14 or 15, her HbA1c. That's ridiculous. So she's now down to about 8. So that's huge. Still not optimal and far from optimal, but
better than the other number.
It's coming down. So that's what we're working on together now. So, yeah, diabetes, it's carnivore definitely, or keto. Just get rid of that sugar.
Get rid of the carbs. Get rid of anything that's going to spike your insulin. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, low carb is definitely the way to go. So, looks like we've got a few New Zealanders here.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Limitless Lindy's my hero. Hi, haven't seen you for ages. You have to drop in and say hi. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I haven't. You've got a channel too, Carnivlogs. I think Stephen, you could check him out as well. My buddy, sorry. Has AFib, type 2 diabetes, vascular failure in legs. Heart specialist at the hospital asked him to go carnivore. He refused, and wow. Well, great for the heart specialist, but your friend is refusing.
And he's on Ozempic.
Yeah. It's funny how I'm more than happy to spend $1,000 or whatever it is for an Ozempic, yet they won't just put that money towards buying meat and doing it naturally.
I'm gonna go on record here. I'm gonna go on record here. If you're looking for a magic pill, there is no such thing. That's it. Sorry. Ozempic ain't it, folks.
No.
Put the effort in. Come on now. Tough love. Stop messing around. Stop looking for a quick fix. You ain't going to find it.
Yeah.
Not one that's got no consequences. You're just not going to find it. So, yeah. Get out of your own way for a second. Yep, that's me being tough. Get out of your own freaking way. Give it away and eat some meat. Get over yourselves. Come on now. Like I said in the previous video with Adrian, I may or may not be just a little bit bossy. Call Reuters.
Good job. Yeah, well, I hope your friend can find their way. I guess we've all tried. I did the lap band, you do what you think is best at the time.
Yeah, you do.
They'll go down the carnivore route in a couple of months once they see that Ozempic isn't all it's cooked up to be. I've heard a lot of people, it works for at the start, they get all excited, then it just stops. And it's like, okay, now what? You need to
shout out to that doctor who actually went go carnivore. Shout out to one doctor. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a keeper.
Thank you, Lindy, for inspiring me. I have lost 75 pounds and I'm on my way to 225 pounds. Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Nice.
I am battling a big regain, being keto or carnivore for years. Your friend might be dealing with this too. Yeah. So you hear a lot about that. There's so many videos. I'm always looking at Ozempic videos just to see, what happens and what people are going through. And there's a lot of negative feedback about it. So I just, these people would look at that more than, look at the side effects before you actually take the plunge and think that's going to cure everything, because it's not. All those habits and behaviors are still there. You've got to rewire that. And I think, like you say it all the time, eating meat's the easy part. It's the mental game, the emotional battle. You're talking to yourself every day to keep yourself on track and talking through all those negative thoughts in your head. Yeah.
100%.
Another Canadian. Hi, AP.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Apparently you can slow the walking videos down as well. So if they're a little bit too fast, you could.
Of course. Of course you can. Honestly, what do I think of that? Oh, thank you, Just Me.
But, if it gets a little bit hard, some of the moves, they don't quite work because your back's a little bit out, or like I've got a dodgy hip, so walking to that side, it hurts a little bit, so I just modify it a little bit. As long as you keep your legs moving, keep walking, you're still getting your steps in, and that's all that matters.
Thank you, Just Me. I clearly am not firing on all thrusters today, because I would have normally thought of that. Oh.
Yeah. I just want to be able to do this and not face plant. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a very real possibility for me too. Oh.
Hi, Albert. Hello, ladies. Sorry if I repeat the question. Just got into your chat. What are the options for one on carnivore BBBE if they're getting tired of the same thing? And why does one get tired of meat? We don't know why people have meat aversion. I like to think that it's your body trying to tell you that you've got enough of something. So, and maybe it's time to change things up. So, yeah, like at the moment, sitting down and eating a steak doesn't really do anything for me. So I'm going to fast through it. I'm going to try and fast. Obviously, like I'm not hungry. I'm just going to see how it goes. Maybe my body just doesn't want meat at the moment. I don't feel like eggs. And obviously, you are limited to what you can. B and E. I mean, you've got bacon and eggs. Yeah. You can have scrambled eggs, poached eggs, hard-boiled eggs, omelets, frittata. You could do with some chopped, like if you have processed meats, you could have some salami and ham in it, or just do ground beef and make a frittata of some sort. If you do cheese, you could throw some cheese in there, make a frittata or a slice. I do that for my husband because he loves all that stuff, and he's dirty anyway. So
yes, he and I are going to have words. I don't know. I see B and E, and my immediate instinct is I want to be able to make a meatloaf out of it, a soup out of it, or have it all separate. It's not. And it's the if you can have a little bit of seasonings or your salts or whatever it is, then that's going to give you some variety. But last night when I said I made meatloaf, I'm like, this would be nice as a soup. This would be really nice as a soup. Yum yum.
And then you could do like little meatballs, and you can make it into like an egg drop soup with the floating meatballs. I mean, it's just a matter. There's so many recipes online too, as well. If you hop on and type whatever, I think Chris from Cooking Nashville or something. He's a carnivore chef. He's got lots of different recipes. I find a lot of his recipes, though, they do have a lot of other things in there, and I do like to keep it simple. But yeah, I don't know. My practice is trying. I eat to survive. I don't live to eat. So when I sit down to eat, I want to eat and get it over and done with and then move on with my life. I don't want my life to revolve around food anymore. So food is not an important part of my life anymore. I've consumed food. It was like I was always wondering where my next meal was coming from. When am I going to eat next? I was consumed 24/7 by food. Now, the less I have to do with food, the better. I don't want to, when I'm hungry, I start getting my little, butterflies in my tummy saying that it's time to eat. And if I don't want to eat a steak, well, I'm not hungry enough. So I go and change my focus. I'll go and do something else, keep myself busy until I'm actually hungry enough to sit down and eat a steak. Then I know I'm really hungry. So
I know, I find after I've had my one meal a day, after I've finished, my first thought is, oh, I really enjoyed that, followed by, oh my God, I don't have to worry about food until tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. Honestly, it's just great to not have to worry about, you have your breakfast. Okay, when so I got about 4 hours before, 4 or 5 hours before lunch, and then you have your lunch, and then you're like, oh God, I wonder how quickly after I get through the front door, after I finish work, can I start cooking dinner? And then your dessert, and you're always looking at your clock. When's the next meal coming? I just get so much satisfaction and joy out of the fact that once I've had my one meal, that I don't have to worry about what I'm eating for another 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. That is huge.
Yeah. So getting sick and tired of the same thing again. I like to keep it simple. The most simple it is, the better. I'm not one that likes to have different things or has to have the rainbow on my plate and different textures and all that. I just like to keep it simple. It's just eat and then get rid of it, and then I go and focus on the rest of my life. So,
Yep.
yeah, a lot of people, I mean, there's the foodie culture and all that. Everyone's focused on food. But there's more in life that you could focus your attentions to. Going for a hike. I'd love to go for a hike. That's what my goal
I would
is.
too, actually. Can't, but would love to. Yeah.
That's my goal, is to go hiking and just getting out there and enjoying some of the world. Eating anything else, not, need to work out what's more important, I guess.
Yep. What's your why?
Yeah.
Why?
Hi, Lindy Mairwyn, everyone. Late to the party, but I'll rewatch later because my daughter has an aversion to meat. Well, hopefully we've given you everyone good pointers on what we've done to overcome that. But if you've got any questions, let us know, because we're almost at 2 hours, so we might have to head off shortly.
If you have questions from this point on, it's probably something we should have done in the first place. Put your QQQ so that we can see them. But yeah, we're going to have to think about pushing off soon, folks.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying. I just had some leftover cold New York strip with egg yolk and butter dipping sauce for my dinner. Oh.
Nom, nom, nom.
You had breakfast yet, Mairwyn?
Nah.
Yeah, I normally eat about 1 o'clock, so a few hours. But I don't know whether I'm going to eat yet, so we'll see how we go.
Dinner for me is going to be half a chicken, half a barbecue chicken, and I'm good with it. I'm fine. I always go for the legs and the wings first, then I finish eating the breast. I want to make sure that I get what fats I can from the chicken into me first. If I feel I need some more fats afterwards, I'll just have some knobs of butter. Tomorrow, it's probably going to be salmon.
Nice. We've got salmon in too, so we might have that tomorrow as well. Yay. Before you leave, I just have a question. I have stuck to carnivore after hitting goal weight. I gained 15 pounds back, just did 3-day day fast, broke it today, and I'm wondering how often this happens. How often?
The fluctuation in weight gains when you've reached your goal weight. What are you eating?
Our goal weight yet, and what is your goal weight? I mean, I don't care what my goal weight is. I fluctuate just with water weight, having lymphedema. It's going to go up and down. I've got lipedema. If you're working out, you're going to gain muscle, which is heavier than fat. So, when it comes to numbers, I don't focus on numbers as much as I love to look at the numbers on the scale. I do weigh myself every morning, but I see every morning it goes up and down. And I'm like, okay, well, I haven't eaten off plan. I haven't done anything that should have put on weight, why is the scale going up? And it's all those things I mentioned before. If it's heat, if I've got a lot of swelling from lymphedema, when I'm stressed out, if I haven't had a good night's sleep, I put on fluid. So, was the weight just water weight, or was it fat? Did you go off plan and eat the wrong things that may have put fat back on? Like if you're still carnivore, then you're eating optimally, then I wouldn't be worrying too much about it.
Yeah. Because, if you're eating the meat, then there shouldn't be a problem. Weight fluctuates all the time. But I'm with Lindy. A goal weight to me is like, I've got a rough idea of where I'm headed. But the thing is, it's like once I get there, it's going to continue anyway. That's why I'm not worried. Like, the goal weight thing is not really a thing for me, because this is my way of eating.
Yeah.
I do like weighing myself once a week, and I do measure my bust, waist, and hips. But it's the photographs. It's the photographs that tell the story. Even if nothing's happening with the numbers, those photographs tell a different story. For me, it's not about saying, well, last time, when I was on Tony Ferguson, they told me I should be 90 kilos. Not sure I want to be 90 kilos, to be completely frank. I just want to feel right. I just want to walk. I just want to be able to go places that I'm not getting the chance to do now. So, weight fluctuates for so many different reasons. It really does. Could be salt. Are you having too much salt? You just don't know. There are so many factors. But if you're eating the meat, then you should be good. But if there's something you've added, maybe you should look at what you've added. Don't know.
And a lot of times it does just happen when you don't even realize it. I think it was a show, was it Secret Eaters or something? And it's in the UK where they follow people around and they say, oh, I'm on a healthy diet. I do this, this, and that, and I don't eat snacks. And then when at the end of the week, they put on the table everything they've eaten and all these things that they ate, not even realizing it. And when they see it all on the table, like, oh my God, did I really eat that?
Yeah.
And I went away with some girlfriends and they had on the table a bowl of Lindor chocolate balls. And I was sitting in the middle of the coffee table in this Airbnb, and my girlfriend ate one, then the other, and then the other. And while we were chatting away, and we were talking about carnivore and all that, and the whole bowl except for one went. And that was because it was dark chocolate, and she doesn't like dark chocolate. But I don't even know if she even knew that she'd eaten the whole bowl of Lindor balls.
Oh, I could have eaten. Yeah. I'd be face planted in the damn thing. I'd be like, rappers? What rappers?
We were just having a chat. We were talking, engrossed in our conversation. I think it might have just been that habit and just of her eating these Lindor balls. And I'm just thinking, oh, that would be me too. If I wasn't carnivore, that'd be me. I would have finished those well before she did that as well. But from where I was,
quicker than her. Oh, please.
Yeah,
please.
but it's just you don't realize that you're doing it. And I got no issue with it. You can do what you like, but it was interesting to watch her do that and then put myself in her shoes and think I would have done exactly the same thing back before carnivore. That would have been me. I can see these behaviors now and I'm like, I'm no longer like that anymore. And I'm really glad that I'm not, because that's what got me to where, over 350 kilos to start with. So, so very pleased with myself. But I don't know. We haven't hit our maintenance weights yet, so I don't know what's going to happen when we get to, I don't know. I'm not going to have a goal weight anyway. I've got so much loose skin personally that how do I know what my goal weight's going to be? I don't know how much all this loose skin is going to weigh. So as long as I can fit into my clothes. I feel comfortable in myself. I can go for a walk with my family, go on outings and not be the one that's holding up the rear or having to sit every 5 minutes because I can't keep up. I don't want to be that person anymore. As long as I can do all of that and live a comfortable and happy life, doing the things that I want to do, don't feel restricted in what I want to do, then I'm going to be happy. And I think that's where my focus is more than what the scale tells me. So maybe that's something you consider as well. But I think there's lots of tools, like fasting is definitely a great one. It's great for your autophagy. It's great for just giving your system a rest. So I think that's a great thing that you're doing a bit of fasting here and there. I don't think it hurts to do a bit of fasting if you feel up to it, and you can do it. You know, you can restrict some calories, but you don't want to be doing that too much because then you can tank your metabolism. You do need to eat. So, you know, maybe that's what you're doing. You're cutting back on a lot of your food, not eating enough, and it's tanking your metabolism. So maybe you need to do a little mini prime where you just ramp up the metabolism again and get your body cutting back. There's so many tools out there that you can use. Joining a community like Steak and Butter Gal. There are other communities as well. I've been in a few, but this has been my favourite. They might be able to help with some tips and tricks that you can do to help maintenance. But we've got a long way to go before we get to that stage, I think. Yeah. There you go. Hi, Christy. How's it going? Thank you, ladies, for your input. I'm now a new subscriber. Thank you for taking the time to influence, promote, and educate fellow carnivores and keto people. Greetings from Austin, Texas. Oh, we were just there.
Your neck of the woods, but now.
I miss Texas so much. Although we do have blue sky today. We're in the middle of winter here, so it's been freezing. But up in Texas, it was beautiful weather. I loved it. So... Hello again. I've started adding frozen butter during the day. Dr. Bright believes it helps hormone health. I hope I don't start putting on weight. Any experience with this? Thanks, ladies.
Oh, I often put butter in my pie hole. I'm like, there's something about it helps with cravings. And somebody mentioned we've all had, come on now, we've all had those carby cravings. Come on now. I've had them as well. And honestly, there is something about putting, and it can be salted or unsalted, doesn't matter. For me, it's salted. There's something about putting that salted butter and letting it melt on the tongue. It just does something bing to the brain. And the next thing you know, you've forgotten about what you were craving in the first place.
Yeah.
I can confirm that's happened to me many times.
Yeah. I didn't have much butter at the start of my journey because I was afraid of it. You know, fat makes you fat. I still have that
Yes, of course.
And then last November, I started adding butter because I have a serious hair loss and I thought I was going to go bald. So after hearing Dr. Bright, I decided to add some butter. My hair loss has stopped. My hair stopped falling out. So I think the butter and maybe a little bit of priming, I don't know, but I haven't been losing hair like I was losing it before. I'm now cutting back on the butter again, more so just as an experiment. You know, I'm always changing things up, trying to find out what's going to make me feel optimal or whatever. I do have butter in the fridge. I do find sometimes when I just crave butter, I want it. And again, I feel like that's my body telling me you need it. And then other days I look at it and I'm just like, I don't want it. Like a butter aversion, if you like. I don't want it. And I think my body's telling me, you don't need extra fat today. So I listen to what I want. So butter's not something that I struggle to moderate. I just feel like my body needs it, wants it sometimes, and other times it doesn't. So do you feel the same way, or do you like it? You just want it?
Honestly, ever since, okay, so I started at the top, and in the last week or so, I had my first taste of Kerrygold butter. I didn't know that butter could taste like that. Wow. obviously, from a financial point of view, it's not something you can keep going, because I went through that within 24 hours.
Isn't that that's like 2 sticks in American. Their sticks are like half a block.
I mean, honestly, it's not quite as being able to get through a chocolate block within half an hour, but it was up there.
Mm.
It was up there. So I'm like, okay, so that's not financially sustainable. So plan B. And sure enough, my husband, last weekend, he came trailing home with the Kirkland's grass-fed butter. Ooh, that nice. But, I really do also love the West Gold butter.
Yeah.
And I've drawn a line in the sand and said, I'm sorry, folks. I don't give a dang how much it costs. I'm not settling for cheap butter anymore. Because honestly, I didn't realize how much I've been actually craving that until I was given something decent to actually eat. It was like with the salmon. I didn't realize how hungry I really was until I had those 2 great big pieces of salmon and almost inhaled them both. It's amazing when you've got the good ingredients, when you've got the good stuff, then you're probably more inclined to. But I know that people can't afford some things, and I understand that. But if you can treat yourself, because come on, you are worth it, folks. If you can treat yourself, do it. Oh my gosh. But the butter, like, I haven't had any this morning, and I'm starting to climb. I want it. I need it. My body is asking for it.
Yeah.
It's asking for it.
And I think you just need to find your way with it. Try it out, and, if you need to cut it back, then you can cut it back, but just see how you go. I think some people can eat heaps of butter and it doesn't do anything. Then I hear of other people that it does affect them. So I guess you just find out where you fit in on that spectrum, whether butter is good for you or not, and just tweak it accordingly. But some days I might have a high butter day, and other days I'm just like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I think that balance is why I'm able to make it work. So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, Deb. This has been very enjoyable. I've enjoyed being here. It's been really good.
It's been fun.
We have salmon fillet in our freezer. I think I'm going to cook it this weekend.
Same. Yep.
Do you like fishing? We might have to go fishing one day. Not that I like doing the baiting and the fishy bit, but I just love.
I'm right with that. Honestly, I dropped a bomb on my kids last week. I said, "Oh God, I'd love to go fishing. This would just be so much easier." I know how to fish, and Josh was like, I said, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll say it. Your dad's not the only one that likes fishing. I love it." And they're like, "What?" I said, you teach a man to fish, teach a person how to fish, you can feed yourself.
Yeah, very good.
I was taught.
Just me again, just about the gaining weight. B-Dog here. I've heard of this before. The body stops losing sometimes and heals and picks back up again. So, it could be the body is trying to heal itself, and that's a very good point, which I'd totally forgotten about. But I do stall a lot, and I think it's just my body's way of trying to catch up on the healing. It's concentrating on other things, and then the weight loss then kicks in. And also with winter, and Todd had this as well, it's like we're in hibernation. Everything just stops. Because I've been in maintenance all for the last couple of months, and like putting and losing and gaining the same 5 kilos in the last 3 or 4 months, and just driving me nuts. It's like, I still have so much to lose. Why am I losing the weight? He experienced that last year. But then when we compared a couple of the videos, he'd slimmed right down, but the scale hadn't moved. So with that composition thing, there was obviously stuff happening. It wasn't reflecting on the scale, but when you compared the videos for like within 6 months, he was a new man. So I'm in that phase at the moment with this cold weather. and my scales are not moving, and I'm hoping that if I can go back and compare some videos that I will see it in my face, and like I do feel it here on my top surface.
Yeah. The
Showing
whoosh.
that, yeah.
The whoosh. I've been
whoosh.
feeling that whoosh for ages now. It won't go away. I'm feeling that whoosh in my arms, and yeah, it's
Yeah. And
very
I'm
strange.
hoping the scale will start to reflect that as summer approaches. But again, I wouldn't stress too much about the scale. There are those tools and fasting and things like that. I don't find fasting, sometimes I might lose a bit of weight. I put it straight back on when I start eating again. It's just the water weight. Like, I don't think there's
Just
a lot into it. I
relax.
do fasting more for the autophagy, sort of the healing benefits, more than for losing weight. But definitely keep eating. Stay away from dairy and yogurts, things like that. That always inflames me. That always makes me put on weight and makes me want to eat more. Stick to red meat because it's more satiating, and make sure that you're eating until you're fully satiated. And then, yeah, lots of
Eat till
tools
you're
out there. Yeah. Okay, I won't worry. I just trust it to go down. I got bigger in the waist. It might have to do with cortisol. Yeah, cortisol.
We'll do it. Family
Yeah.
death. We'll do it. Hello.
This is where the butter trick comes in handy, because that helps reduce cortisol. So they say, especially having cortisol like butter before bed will reduce your cortisol levels.
Yep.
As well. But yeah, stress is going to do it for sure. Not sleeping is going to do it. All
Yep.
of that. So
Yep.
be kind to yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, eat when you're hungry and drink when you're dry. Well, as a carnivore, you can do that. When you're on carbs, you've constantly got that monster in your
Oh, it's
head.
always.
Just it
Oh,
doesn't switch
don't.
off. But since I've been carnivore, I've got an off switch. It does happen. There is such a thing as an off switch. I didn't have it for 50 years of my life. So it's good advice when you found a diet that works for you. A lot of people are born with an off switch. It obviously missed me.
Miss me and all, love.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was there. I do get unable to walk using the auto cart in store. I do understand was there. Yeah. I miss winter here. It's been hella hot up here. I'll swap you any day. Right now, I want the heat. We'll see what I say in summer. It might be a totally different ball game. It's like, oh, I need winter, but I don't think
could have well done without the cold snap, though.
it was pretty cold, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I could have well done without that. Oh.
And I find as I'm losing the weight, I'm actually enjoying the sunshine more. I'm actually tolerating the heat a lot better. So
We're losing our insulation. We're losing our insulation, Lindy.
Not a bad thing.
I insist on sitting out here, eh? You should see the layers I put on to stay out here.
Well, very soon I'm going to be going out there and putting my smoker on. So it's beautiful out there. So I'll do some video, and I'm going to try and do an update. I haven't done an update in a while. Thanks for your time, Mairwyn and Lindy. You are absolutely legends. Oh, thank you, Ursula.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah. For my bite, but I use the cheap stuff for cooking. Oh, cool.
Oh, I'm fussy. I can taste cheap butter a mile away, even when. Oh, no. I'm like, oh, heck no. No, we're not doing that.
You too, Rita. Have a great weekend. Yeah, we're almost at the bottom, so you guys are great, and I feel better. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a wonderful week. You too. Enjoy your week.
You too, darling. You know where we are.
Fishing, where we're planning on going. Isn't there, I think in Ryle near Phillip Island or somewhere around there, you can actually go fishing, and they're like big pools. I don't know. They breed the fish and all that there, I think. I'm not sure. But you can go fishing, catch your own fish, and then they'll cook it for you on the spot. And you sit down and you eat your fish. I'm going to try that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell Yeah, I'll have to go there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, the butter reduces cortisol levels, and it's definitely good for hormone health. So we hit
Yeah.
the end. We did
We
it.
hit the end. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I
If you
enjoyed
want to
that.
see Marwyn and I back again on another stream, if you've got any topics for us, let us know. We'd be
Oh,
happy. I'm
yeah.
happy to do it again if you wouldn't mind
Oh,
having. You enjoyed it?
faux shizzle.
Yeah.
Faux shizzle. I'd love to do this with you again.
All right, no worries. Let's pop in the comments if you'd like to see us again together and what topics you would like us to cover, and we'd be more than happy to. I think that would be awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, thank you,
All right,
beautiful
my
and
darlings.
everybody, and have a lovely weekend.
Yeah. Have a great weekend, everybody. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Okay, see ya.
Toodaloo.